All right, so hello again. And yeah, I wanted to do a podcast kind of a couple of times this week and a few times last week as well. There's just been so many different things happening one after the other. And yeah, or me especially, just got the final answer on this whole Japan thing. If you've been watching our channel for like the past 3 months or something, this is
Basically, yeah,
feels
since
like it.
November.
Yeah, it feels like it's been literally forever since we've been sort of doing this. Since I think it was very late October, this whole thing started. Um, yeah, spoiler alert: we're not going. The company pulled the offer. They did a 180-degree turn out of absolutely nowhere. Um, so, a quick recap. I met this lovely guy at an SDA church. We instantly had a connection. He instantly kind of understood that I was an IT engineer of some kind. We had a chat. I had just been laid off from a Japanese company. He happened to be working for a Japanese company and had been for a very long time, decade and a half. Had been living in Japan for a decade and a half. Had just returned to Australia with his kids, and they had an open position that perfectly fit me essentially. Obviously, I applied. I went through one of the most difficult coding challenges just ever, completely and totally, I think, over-engineered for what I would end up being doing, but a very good test of skills if you can do it, of course. Then I had multiple interviews with the hiring manager, interview with the head of product and the head of engineering, or head of DevOps, former head of engineering. And then I had an interview with the CEO, an interview with the CTO, another couple interviews with the hiring manager, and of course, email correspondence through the entire period. Slight negotiation and change of the salary package, followed by just multiple 2 week, 3 week delays. Um, you know, yeah, not a whole lot of communication, really no new data coming in whatsoever about what was kind of happening, but still had heard really good things from everybody. People, including the person who referred me, gave me some really good, like positive feedback about the company and stuff to look forward to and everything. And we were looking at, we've been learning Japanese for 2 years. Like we were looking at videos and stuff of what life is like in Japan, and a lot of it is negative, but we were prepared for a lot of things. Obviously, you can never be completely prepared, but you get the picture. And after they got back to me finally with the salary package and the whole, like the whole thing they were offering, which was relocation, visas for both of us, everything, sponsorship. And we were really grateful for that, weren't we?
Yeah.
Of course.
Really excited about
Yeah,
it.
really excited about it and everything. And then they said, okay, we want past supervisor references. I handed those over without any friction, even though it was the Christmas period. And I was like, oh, it would be nice if we could do, senior, colleagues of mine who I know are available during the Christmas period, as opposed to kind of cold calling my previous supervisors and saying, hey, would you, please be able to be a reference, sort of thing, which is no problem at all, but still the timing, like the holiday period timing, everyone's spending the time with their kids and stuff. And anyway, I know I'm rambling and stuff, but there's a lot to disclose in this whole thing because it's been the last, it almost kind of feels like half the entire time we've been here, I've been in this.
Yeah, like at least half the time since you've been out of a job.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. And then they asked for these references, they got the references, and they never even contacted the references. They just got back to me like about, 30 minutes ago and just sort of said, well, I'm not even going to tell you what they said essentially because it wasn't really what I would consider a real reason.
It was ChatGPT.
It was a ChatGPT response after like three and a bit months. Doesn't even get you like a real empathetic, like multiple interviews with this person, and then they just gave me the AI generated like excuse, like the prompt of, hey, we've taken 3+ months of this guy's time. give him an excuse and let him down, like, with whatever, so we can kind of save face, but also, like, it's yeah, I don't know, like, I don't know what to say. But well, actually, I do. What I do know what to say is, what decision have we made, essentially?
Well, basically, we have to give up Japan.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's it. It's like the decision's been taken out of our hands. And
Yeah.
this is the second Japanese company that has, like, kind of really screwed me. Yeah, I didn't want to say it even, but yeah, has screwed us, essentially, both of us. Like, again, small recap. We came here to Australia as a stopover on the way to Japan. So if you're just joining us now, or you're trying to understand how this kind of happened for us, Australia was always meant to be kind of like a bit of a vacation, a chance for you to build social skills, a chance for me to reconnect with my childhood and my past, my family here. And spoiler alert, my mum just chuffed off to America, without saying much. And yeah, my sister, she's, I guess, going to move away at some point as well. She's got plans to be somewhere else. She doesn't want to stay here, and I don't really blame her, to be honest. And we spent the time reconnecting with other parts of my family that want to be more in touch and want to be more, like, close, and who are communicative and easy and smooth and flowy to kind of talk to and all that good stuff. That it's not agitating or gyrating to kind of have those conversations, like it has been with, especially over text. I mean, I've pretty much just kind of rejected doing any text conversations from now on, because it just never goes well, and it's always been the kind of topic on everyone's lips, like, just social media and text in general is just where all family relationships go to die, even though I haven't had a whole lot of choice, and neither have, neither have others, due to ridiculous distances, America and Australia and so on. But without getting off topic, basically, yeah, I mean, like, Japan is done. Like, I don't, do you feel like going third time into the gauntlet? And
not through this kind of process.
No, and I mean,
yeah, I was really excited to go, and I feel pretty deflated about it. Like, it feels like we were building up all this hope and, starting to dream. We still knew, of course, that it wasn't a given that we would get a positive answer. Yeah. But still, like, we're human. We start building up ideas.
I got a verbal acceptance.
Exactly.
I got a strong verbal acceptance from multiple staff members in the company, from the CEO, the CTO, and the hiring manager, and the head of their main product. So, I mean, there was at least four executive staff level people in the company who said, yeah. And this was again, slight recap. My previous job before this was for a Japanese company, and an hour before I got told by the CTO, who had just joined the company, was just fresh off the boat, basically, just joined the company, didn't know which way was up, essentially, in the company, and was trying to just work backwards to even figure out what they were doing. One of probably the VC, the venture capitalist fund, like, head of the company, made the decision to lay me off, like, 2 hours before my probation would officially be up, like, by the time zone, essentially. And 1 hour after they had asked me, the other company exec had asked me for a headshot, like a professional photo to put on their website as the head of engineering. So
another
like
door is like
another door, like another 180 essentially, like like another 180, man, like straight away. And that's why, if you go back to one of the previous videos, I was just in such shock because first of all, I've never been laid off in my life. I've never lost a job in 15, 16 years of my career. I've always been employed. So yeah, spoiler alert, first time for everything, but in that, we came to Australia. We left Finland to come here because that company said, we will sponsor you to go to Japan. And then we have been staying here because this company said that they would sponsor us to go to Japan. So it's like...
And we tried giving Australia a shot previously as well. We were considering like, you know, staying here long term, but then we felt like there was no success in that kind of thinking either. So then we felt, oh, all right then, we might as well keep going with the Japan thing, especially since you did make a connection with a Japanese company again, just out of nowhere.
Yeah, and I mean, like, the whole premise that it happened, like, you'd be crazy to not think it's from God. I was told by the Holy Spirit to keep walking. I walked into a church. The first person I talked to was an Australian person who had lived in Japan for 16 years, worked for a Japanese company, worked in IT, and literally they had a position open that they needed someone with my exact skills. And that was essentially why we went through an entire 3-month process anyway. You know, it's not like the 3-month process just happened out of nothing, you know. And this was also... the only reason we were even in that town was because we missed the turn off to go home. So you couldn't get a more providential guidance like into this entire thing. So yeah, I mean, you know,
we don't really get it.
We don't get it. Like, we don't get it.
To be completely honest.
No.
And I guess it's just life, and now we'll have to look forward and sort of
and I mean,
this behind us.
Being Christians doesn't mean that you don't get just a total curveball sometimes. 2 curveballs, one after the other, you know. I mean, essentially, like, like, it's not uncommon to still have doubts. It's not uncommon to still be shocked and surprised and just bewildered and hurt and disappointed and all of those things. But what I can truly say, essentially, and I mean, obviously, there's so much to unpack here, and I don't want to be here. Like, how long have we been sitting here? Okay, not too long. There's so much to unpack here, right? But rather than say what I saw was a very ham-fisted, totally convoluted, you know, often unprofessional mess of a hiring process that had red and yellow and orange and brown flags in many which ways, mixed in with a lot of positive comments from people in the company about you not being worked to death and the company culture being good and the salary being well above average and you know, like, there was more than enough reason to consider the position, but more than enough reason to not. It was very, wouldn't you say, extremely mixed signals, like a very much red light, green light. Like, at times it seemed like a great idea, at times it really didn't, you know. And, you know, your father has a penchant for saying that if something doesn't bring you peace, it's not from God, you know. And I don't think, to be honest, really, if we look under every bed here, it really didn't bring either of us any peace.
Yeah, there was...
excitement, but no peace, maybe, you know, like...
Yeah, I don't really know what to say. I mean, at a certain point, it felt like it was a good idea. It felt like a great idea. Even.
Yeah, great
but
idea,
then,
you know.
You know, of course, with an answer like this, then I guess that shows the sort of the true colors of...
Yeah, it feels like I dodged a missile
like.
in a way, you know. Like, I mean, to get the ChatGPT response, like, if it was me, I would have just said, hey, look, I know this is not the outcome you were at all expecting, and we've come so far in this position, and this is the last thing that we want to do, like, and the last thing that we would expect to do, but we just have no other choice except to... Instead, it was just like, after careful consideration, blah, blah, blah. I don't even want to go into it. It's so, like, I'm going to stop short of saying insulting, because it's not even insulting. It's just like almost comedic. It's almost comedy. It's almost like ironic at this point, you know, like, and once again, it's another Japanese company that doesn't give me any feedback about like what went wrong. Like, you had every certificate, every 3 degrees, 16 years of experience, but then at the end of the day, all I can really say is, well, it's clearly not me, it's them, you know, like, it's clearly not the fact that I've done anything wrong here. It's like, You know, I'm sure I could have done something better, but at this point, I really, really hasten to believe that it would have made any difference. You know,
they didn't exactly try. I mean, they could
no.
have countered you.
Yeah,
like,
they could have said,
tried,
"Hey, look, you
yeah.
know, I know we offered you this thing after 6 months, but you know, we've just got to like to continue on with this. We've just got to offer you this, and this is it. That's what's on the table. I'm sorry, it's not what maybe you thought you were going to get, you know, but that's it." And like, I would have just been, I probably would have capitulated, like really capitulated, and just said, you know what, sunk cost fallacy. Let's just do it. Like, God will be with us, and we'll just go. You know. But instead, it was like, you know, yeah. I mean, all I can say at the end of the day is I'm a Christian, and I believe that God took this off the table. You know, because it's the only answer that makes any sense.
Yeah.
You know, like the first one, like I said, 1 hour after being asked to be a photo to put on the website staff page, and then an hour later, hey, sorry. And if you want more information about that whole thing, there's another video of me losing my job halfway through the channel. You know, just go and watch it on one of the podcasts, and I explained the lack of data that they gave me. They didn't give me a reason. They didn't tell me why, and it was the most embarrassing. Like the CTO choked on every single word because they just threw it on her, and she didn't even know why she had to tell me because there wasn't a reason. Like or at least if there was, she wasn't told what it was, and I could see it written all over her that they just like, you know. And I thought to myself, all I could think of was, boy, haven't you stepped into the, like, you know, into the lion's den. Like these guys, when they don't want to handle something themselves, they'll just push it on to somebody else who just joined the company 2 weeks ago. You know. And even when that person offered to give me a reference, what's a reference from someone who's been in the company 10 minutes, you know, like who doesn't even know how I work and doesn't know how much I slaved over this job, building 3 different products, you know, like in record time. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, it's not the last you've heard of this whole thing. Well, there'll be other videos about more of the process, and we didn't want to make this ridiculously long, but it's already probably 16 odd minutes now, even though I want to do it in 10. That's just the nature of bureaucracy, you know. Explaining bureaucracy is bureaucratic in and of itself, you know. So yeah, but bullet points: we're not going to Japan. I will not be trying again with a Japanese job, or if I do, it will have the salary I absolutely demand and not a yen less. And it will not be 10 holidays a year. It will be 25 or something. Like, I will set hard limits day one, and I will not even blink if a company says can't do it, because my expectations are now like ground level, like subterranean are my expectations now, you know, with regards to the hiring situation. And on top of that, yeah, you know, we're just not going anywhere. Like, you know, I mean, I'm going to put every bit of effort that I wish I had spent during this process. I put in a lot of effort, but I didn't put in my best. I should have done that. I probably missed 1 or 2 jobs, no joke, because I was like, I'm interested, but I'm really more interested in the sunk cost fallacy that I've already been doing, you know. And now I'm absolutely going to give 100,000,000% into getting the dream job here, you know. And good news is we're still doing well. We know we're not in a gigantic rush for anything. You've got your job, well done, and
we have each other.
We have each other. We have God. We have Jesus. Like, that's all we need.
We have a place to live. We're living on God's grace here. I mean, you know.
It's not super fun, but at the same time, like, you know, grace isn't always fun. It's grace. So yeah.
Yeah, and you know, it's humbling as well, and we need to be humble, and maybe that's why God put us here.
Oh yeah, for sure. I can't think of any other reason. And then on top of that, you know, what I wanted to say was, you know, I am going to choose to believe that there is something even better than what was offered. Spoiler alert, that's not going to be too hard, I think, to find. But given how the whole thing went. But I want to believe that God loves us both so much and cares about us both so much that it got to a point where he said, I can't do this to my kids. I can't do this to these two. And it's going to suck and it's going to be disappointing and they're going to be shocked and they're going to grieve. But at the end of the day, when they see what I have in store for them, they will be very glad, you know, because everyone is always very sad and very shocked when there is the pruning, you know, when they get pruned. But then afterwards, when you get to yield that peaceable fruit of righteousness, it's really, really worth it, you know. And I could really do with some peaceable fruit of righteousness, I think, you know.
Sounds yummy.
Yeah, sounds good. So, yeah. All right, thanks for your patience and for sticking in with us through all of these podcasts and stuff. And, yeah, this is it, man. This is real life, you know. Genjutsu, like, this is reality, you know. So, yeah, that's the kind of, that's the thing.
Please pray with us.
Yeah, please pray with us and for us. And, yeah, I'm probably going to sleep really well tonight despite all of this, I think. So, yeah. All right, thanks for joining us.
God
and
bless.
God bless. Yeah, take care. See ya.